Hello everyone, and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, we're going to play a little Shredded Viper. So, the idea of a Shredded Viper, mono black Shredded Viper that is deck is really focused on, well, obviously the Rottenmouth Viper, which was from Bloomburrow a while ago, but was nevertheless a broken card, right? It's a 6 mana 6/6, which by itself already, the stat is not too bad, 6 mana 6/6. But you can actually cast it for less than 6 mana by sacrificing any non-land permanent and reducing the mana cost by 1 each time. So technically, if we sack 5 permanent, this only costs 1. So sacrificing permanent is something exactly we want to do with Super Shredder. Whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield, you can put a +1/+1 counter on Super Shredder. So that's our Shredded Viper combo. And on paper, that already looks pretty good. Well, we want to sack things. We sack into the Rottenmouth Viper. That was an old Rakdos sack deck. What makes this deck better? Well, what makes this deck better is this little card right here, the Ooze. Whenever a creature you control with +1/+1 counter leaves the battlefield, create a mutagen token for each +1/+1 counter on it. That doesn't seem that crazy, but until you read, if you think about the actual effect, right? So what this means is, well, whenever we have a creature with +1/+1 counter on them dies, then we get those mutagens. And if our Super Shredder has any +1/+1 counter on it, because that's what he does, right? When he dies, we'll just get those +1/+1 counters back as mutagens. And then we can just sacrifice all those mutagens to cast the Rottenmouth Viper. And as we're doing that, if we're playing a second Super Shredder, then every one of the mutagens we sack will pump the Super Shredder, the second one that we play. So you can see the deck starts to synergize with itself amazingly. But along with that, we also have now the Technodrome. The Technodrome is a 2 mana 3/3, which by itself is already a pretty crazy stat, but you can't attack or block with it until it's power 6 or greater. So immediately now you can see it's a bad card, right? But it has a good effect to that side. It says sacrifice an artifact, draw a card, and put up a +1/+1 counter on it. So I don't even need it to be a creature for this card to be good. 2 mana just to sack an artifact and draw a card is already insane. And we can sacrifice those mutagens and we can keep drawing cards that way. And all of a sudden now that's insane. That's exactly what we want the deck to do. So Technodrome with the Ooze, crazy combo. Technodrome, or the Ooze with Super Shredder, crazy combo. Technodrome, Ooze, and Super Shredder now perfect combo to put in the Rottenmouth Viper deck. So that's the idea. And the rest of the deck, well, pretty standard from what we originally have for the Rakdos package, but we cut out all the red cards. We don't need any red cards, and we cut out a lot of the lands. I'm only running 18 lands. I never want to get flooded, because now we have Springleaf Drum for mana, right? Just our creatures are going to be our mana. Then we're good. So that's the whole idea. Now let's talk about the deck list. So in the early game, we have 4 Greedy Freebooter, 4 Moonshadow, and 4 Springleaf Drum. That's what you want to play on turn 1. And like I mentioned, in every deck that I play Springleaf Drum in, if you have a turn 1 Drum, play a turn 1 Drum. Don't play any of these creatures, because creatures are susceptible to removal. A Springleaf Drum normally isn't. So you're not going to attack with the creature that you play on turn 2 anyways. The point of a drum is that on turn 2 you can get 3 mana out of it. So we want to play turn 1 drum. Turn 2 we can play a creature and then use the drum with the creature to get that extra mana, and we'll get an additional mana pip for whatever card we want to play. So that's what we want to do turn 1. Right? And then turn 2 we want to have one of our Super Shredder, one of our Umbral Zealot, one of the Technodromes, one of the Ooze. These are all pretty good turn 2 plays. Any of these can land. With the Springleaf Drum, that means that we can land a 2 mana play and then play another 1 mana play if we need to. That's where it gets crazy. We also have an Obsessive Pursuit, which is a very good card for this deck, right? Whenever it enters at the beginning of our upkeep, we lose 1 life and create a clue. Losing 1 life feels bad, but getting that clue is insane for the deck that wants to have a bunch of artifacts out to sacrifice. And then, and whenever we attack, we can put X +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. It's not target creature gets +X/+X. It's +1/+1 counters. So all of a sudden, those creatures grow, not consistently, but permanently, right? And because of the Ooze, those don't go away. So with that, where X is the number of permanent you sacrifice this turn, which is very easy to sacrifice with this deck, especially with Zealots and Rottenmouth Viper. Lastly, if X is 3 or greater, that creature gains lifelink. So it doesn't even matter if we lose life. We get the life back with the Obsessive Pursuit. This card somehow just flew under a lot of people's radar. I know that people were playing it a while when the Avatar came out, but I guess people just forgotten about it. I haven't seen it as often. It's actually a crazy card, right? So you just had to sacrifice 3 permanent for you to get lifelink on any attacker. And with a deck with Super Shredder and Rottenmouth Viper in the deck, yeah, that's going to be a pretty big lifelink. So that's the idea of turn two. This is still a 2-mana play, right? And then we have our technically 3-mana play for Rottenmouth Viper, but it could be even a 1-mana play, just a high CMC play that could be cut all the way down to 1 by sacrificing all these other permanents that we don't really want, right? You can sack those Ooze or the Mutagen tokens, and they just get back on the Super Shredder. You can sack those Clue because, you know, we're not using those Clue anyway, so all of a sudden, big Viper. Alright, so that's what we want this deck to do. And the best thing about this, and I kind of put this under the radar, is our 1-mana Springleaf Drum, 2-mana, one of these creatures like a Super Shredder or Umbral or Zealot, and then we can use the Zealot plus the Drum to play a 1-mana removal. A lot of time with these decks, when you fall behind on tempo, it's very hard to get it back. But if with the Drum and you summon a creature on turn 2, you can instantly back that up with a removal like a Grim Bauble, which will -2/-2 a Badger Mode Cup or a Land or Elf, or you can Embrace Oblivion. Not a great card, but let's say you turn 1 Greedy Freebooter, and then turn 2 Springleaf Drum and a second Greedy Freebooter. You can then use one of the mana on Embrace Oblivion and just destroy one of their creatures, whatever creature they have. There is no limitation on this card, unlike the Grim Bauble. So that's where all this synergy comes in. And at the end, 18 lands total. 15 swamps, 3 Realm of Koh, nothing too fancy in the lands. We're just gonna, you know, go overwhelm them with the early game creatures, and break our opponent's back with just the amount of, you know, not only creatures and attackers we can have, and big Super Shredder, menacing Super Shredder that we can have. Also, the Rottenmouth Viper, making them sacrifice or discard cards every turn until they're out of stuff. So that's kind of the idea of the deck. Let's go into the game and see how well that will actually perform. Alright, our opponent is Dark Lancelot. He's not just regular Lancelot, he's dark. We go first. Alright, we have a Shredder. I'm not sure if Shredder does anything here, but we have a Shredder. I can make a lot of mutagens for the Rottenmouth Viper. I suppose that's the plan. Drum. Okay. Secluded Courtyard, huh? That's awkward. This is whenever another permanent leaves the battlefield, right? I guess we can do this first. No, that would be wrong. We do this first. Because this way I can sack whatever I need to, should I need to do it. Whereas if I have a Super Shredder out and they just kill Shredder, then I don't get anything out of it. Ally time! Oh boy. Okay. Oh, I can kill this. That's nice. Well, let's first get out our Super Shredder. I don't think I Ooze here. Since I don't Ooze, I think I can just attack with the Zealot. I don't think he's gonna block. Him no blocks. So I can tap the Super Shredder for a black to destroy the Lieutenant. Then I can Rottenmouth Viper if I want to. That would be a pretty big Viper. South Pole Voyager. I think he just gains 1 life, right? Yeah, he's just gaining 1 life isn't too bad for me. If I attack here, do I gain anything? I can get Greedy Freebooter. I can get the Viper up, but I'm not sure sacrificing everything for the Viper is really necessary. So I can sack 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll tap this for a black. I'll also tap my Zealot for a black. 1, 2. I can sack 1, 2. I can sack a drum 2. I think 3 is enough. So I'll get a pretty big Zealot. I don't think I need another one of these. Rottenmouth Viper, you better discard a card or sack a permanent. Which I'm pretty sure he's going to discard a card. Nobody sacks permanents to this. Or, I mean, he takes 4 life. Okay, so now we have a pretty big thing. I could make a bunch of mutagens with the Ooze. I guess we do that. He has red. He even shocks himself for red. Is it Aang time? Aang doesn't stop both these creatures, so we'll see. I guess it's not Aang time. We'll put out the Ooze. Ooze is a good card. We'll go to combat. And the Viper will instantly get the double blight. Or whatever. It's a blight counter, but it's not blighting, which is weird. They just call it the same name. They don't care. It is Aang. So what does Aang do? Aang bounces the Viper. Sure. But it's already on the stack. Right? He's already attacked. That's already on the stack. He has discard 2 cards or he loses a life. I don't think he's going to sack any permanent. He should have done this before I attacked. And now Dark Lancelot is no more. Pretty sure this is lethal this turn. Alright. Where's Aang blocking? Aang's blocking the Zealot. Do I need to do anything with this? No. Alright, I get a bigger Shredder. I don't know why, but my Viper costs 0. I'm gonna play this land first. And I will exile Aang. If I submit 0, I have to pay 2, right? Yeah. I have to submit 1. So I can pay 1. You still gotta discard a card. And that's GG. Viper is scary. Alright, our opponent is the worst. Well, they said it themselves. Just the worst. We go first. Cool. How's it going? I can actually play out most of my hand next turn. Which is wild. And since that's the case, I think I'll play out the Freebooter since it can attack, right? I don't think the Moonshadow can attack next turn. Hedge Mace. Hedge Mace. Keep. That's kind of weird. Tap the Moonshadow. Double Moonshadow. I have a Ooze, but I have no way to sack, right? If I get a Zealot here, this would be insane. Town Greeter. Ha! Alright. Well, I know what I'm gonna hit. Realm of Koh. We play our Ooze. We play our... Well, let's just attack first. I doubt he blocks. He does block? Wow, okay. That's insane. You just give me this value. But I'll take it. Grim Bauble. Don't think I need that. Right? Yeah, I don't think I need that. Hold on to the Ooze. You can react. It's gonna discard. I don't think he knows what the Ooze does. There's the Endwind. Caveros. Check it out. Graveyard Hate. How'd you like them apples? So I do have a treasure, which means I could take the Realm of Koh into a spirit. But either way, I think we do the attack first. Blocks the Freebooter, literally making my creatures bigger. Alright. Not gonna say no to that, even though my draws are kind of shit. What does he have? Overlord? Gotta be careful with what he does. If he summons an Overlord here, I'm not too upset about it. Alright, well, I'm not letting you summon an Overlord, I guess. You can summon a Steam Core Scholar. It can fly. 4/4 flying is pretty good, I heard. Discards 2 cards and exile one of them. Would he attack? He does attack. I'll take the 2. Fantastic. Alright, let's make a spirit. I don't need that treasure since the Springleaf Drum kind of needs to take that, turns that into a mana anyways. Now, I could use this for the mutagen. Do I want to do that? Because this is 6 damage. 6 damage, I think he just takes it and goes down low, right? I think 6 damage is enough. I mean, I guess we put it on 1. And it will still activate both. There you go. The Ooze, stopping Caveros. Somebody bit his mind. Treasures inside. Let's exile some things first. We'll get a land back, but I don't think he has enough mana for Caveros, so I'll take that out first. He doesn't gain a life. Alright, he does have Valgavoth and Bringer. So we gotta be careful. Also, you return a land. If he returns a land, will you just have lethal here? Feels like a 2-mana kill spell, right? If it's a 2-mana kill spell, I definitely don't want to just throw these out here. Because they will just die. So he'll double block one of these Moonshadow. And then probably kills the other Moonshadow. And then Cavero out. Either Valgavoth or Bringer. Which one is scarier? Valgavoth or Bringer? What do I have in my graveyard? Just Greedy Freebooters. I could mutagen twice, right? I don't think that's worth the effort. Can also put one on these 1/1s. He's not blocking these 1/1s. Alright, so he's going to double, or he's going to kill one of these, double block the other one. It means I won't be able to get to that lethal. I mean, a 4/4 Valgavoth isn't as scary. These can't block or be blocked by non-spirits. These are non-spirits. So they can't block my wolves. Funny enough. He's roping. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is a kill spell, right? Why else would he rope this long? I'm waiting for the bitter triumph. Maybe just rope, because he is the worst. That is fair. Alright, let's see if our opponent indeed is the worst. That's not how Menace works. Sure. That is how Menace works. GG, I guess he was the worst. Alright, our opponent is the Audio Lighthouse. The Brilliant Audio Lighthouse. I don't know if you can be a Brilliant Audio House. I got a Technodrome. It's one half the combo again. But hey, we're gonna shred it up. No, no. Ooze vacuum, okay. So, that is kind of like shredding it up. Two mana go, huh? We're gonna play the Freebooter. See if they want to counter this. They didn't counter it. Well, they countered the Super Shredder. They also didn't counter the Super Shredder. I guess Super Shredder's getting shot at. No, didn't do that either. So we're just out here. We are just out here. They get Ooze. Huh. I guess we fight Ooze versus Ghost Vacuum, but... Do we Springleaf Drum first? No. I think we're gonna Drone first. Do we Drone first? Is Drone better than Ooze? Drone is better than Ooze, but I don't imagine a world where he counters the Ooze. And if I put the Drone out there, at least it's something that sticks. Then I can play the Drum. Is that a counterspell? We'll attack with this 1/1 that he can't really block. Man, I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's force out a counterspell, I guess. None of those are counterspells. Just regular Kaito. That's fair. Oh, not even regular Kaito. Obera! I mean, I could still be Kaito, to be honest. Maybe it's Curiosity? Fairies? Curiosity? Yo, what year is this? What is this even? Whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, put a -1 counter on up to one target creature. Alright. Well, let's not have that happen. So how about we Embrace Oblivion? Sacrifice an artifact or creature, destroy target creature with spacecraft. I should have paid the mana. That was a waste of mana. Oh boy. That's the card. Attack for 3. If he uses his vacuum, I will ooze up the vacuum. Nah. Mine. It's called being greedy. I don't even know if I sack it to the Technodrome. I mean, I guess I do. To be fair, he's not doing anything. Sack it to the Technodrome to draw a card. Yeah. I get the +1/+1 on the Shredder too. That's pretty good. A land. Land's unfortunate. It sacks stuff, but it's not doing anything until it's a 6, right? So it won't do anything for a while. Is he going to do anything? No? Let me attack for 4 then. Probably a curiosity turn. Not a curiosity turn. If I just sack 2 permanents... Yeah, if I just sack 2 permanents, I could bring out the Viper, but I don't think I'd do it. I think I'll respond with a giant Super Viper, Super Shredder. And I can catch his Ghost Vacuum off guard anyways. Yeah, no. I'm not letting your Ghost Vacuum suck anything up. They're mine. My machine. The Ooze is a really good card. Especially in this deck. Unfortunately, Standard is a little too fast. Otherwise, this deck is actually super broken. He's going to draw 2 cards. Cool beans. He's holding us 3 steps ahead. Not countering anything that's already on board. Maybe he has another Opera, but it's legendary. Hex. Can I sack this in response to anything? Sacking an artifact. This is not an artifact, so I guess it's just dead. Oh, I'm gonna use so many mutagens. This is wild. Alright. Thanks. The amount of mutagen we just got because of the Ooze. I forgot about that, right? I'm just thinking about like the Super Shredder part. Oh, you're gonna take my Shredder? Cool. I mean, sure. Pay 6 mana to get the Shredder out. On your side, I guess, if you think that's gonna help you. It won't. I have reach. Oh, I can't block, huh? Can't attack or block. Never mind. I guess I was the dumb one. Okay. No. This is gonna tap with the Springleaf Drum if I do that. So let me just sack one of the mutagen to draw a card here. He will probably bounce this or something, but I'm forcing a response, right? He's not bouncing. He's not doing anything. I'll also create a 1/1. I think we're Super Shredder first. It's a little bit more threatening of a card. We'll probably try to counter this one. Because he thinks this is my main threat. And that's where we get him. If you think Super Shredder is the threat, there he thinks Super Shredder is the threat. Yeah, you draw your card. He must be so happy right now. He's like, I countered the Super Shredder. I've won this game. I'm sorry, but you did not. Alright. Well, let's do the math. Alright, so definitely putting a Moonshadow here. If I'm sacking 1, 2, 3, this costs 6. Right? It costs 6, so I had to sack 5 permanents if I play this. I think I still sack 5 permanents. So we'll add a black with this wolf. Well, with this. We'll add a black with probably this wolf. I don't know if I add a black with a Moonshadow here. I don't think he can attack me for anything more than 2, right? 2. That's 2 black. And then I had to sack 4 permanents. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, they all went away. Don't need that Springleaf Drum. He sacks that. Which means now I can ooze up something. Nothing really that great, right? But might as well ooze up your Ghost Vacuum. put it on the Technodrome so that I can attack for 6. Or 7. Bring him down to 5. I mean, if this deck runs Deadly Cover-Up too, I would be sad, but it would be a good play. But if he doesn't, he's dead. That attack means we're getting covered up. That's not a cover-up. I don't know what that is, but it's not a cover-up. I'll play this land. Alright, first double Viper trigger. So, you gotta discard 2 cards, or you lose 8 life. Aetherize. Well, that's pretty good. That is not a bad plan. I don't get to sack anything, so... I still get the Viper trigger, so... It's not like that didn't happen. And I get all the mutagens. Alright, so then I can play the Moonshadow again. So you have another counter spell. I can play the Drone again. Does he want to counter the Drone? It is a very strong card, to be fair, but the Viper is stronger. And he probably wants to counter the Viper, so black. Black. We'll exile this creature. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll keep those mana open unless, in case he has a counter spell. Like a counter unless you pay 2 with those 2 mana. It could be, right? I mean, it could be a counter unless you pay 3, like a spell stutter. Then, in which case, that was a waste. But hey, you know, this is fine. We're still at the advantage where he's at 5. He's gonna blow up my Realm of Koh, which will make my Moonshadow a 3. Gee, it would make it a 4 on my side, on my graveyard. Right? I think that's how it works. That's a permanent going to my graveyard. So this will be a 3 now. Do you have a counterspell? Is this last card a counterspell? This Zealot is going to sack all the Springleaf Drums. Fade Bloom Trick. It's going to create 2 1/1s and tap my Moonshadow. Alright, let's exile. I don't know what I'm exiling here. I think I'm going to sack the Springleaf Drum. Just get another Zealot. Just get them all on the board. As long as he doesn't deal 11 damage to me this turn, he will be dead next turn, unless he has another Aetherize. Gotta be careful with Aetherize now. I guess somebody's playing that in their deck. It's Kaito? Huh. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't think it's Kaito. But... put that to 6. Choose one other creature until the end of the turn. It becomes a 4/4. I mean, okay. It becomes a 4/4. And then what? Double block, triple block. Okay. So we're gonna kill this. So he keeps his 1/1 and he takes 4. It didn't let me sack in response. Oh, I'm already assigning damage. I could have just sacked the permanent one. Ah, that's a missed lethal, unfortunately. Then that draw. One return here. I could have put this to 5, but not to 6. So what's his last card? Alright, this is a long game, Audio Lighthouse. But can you deal 8 damage this turn? Doesn't deal any damage. Alright, if he doesn't deal any damage, do I put the drone up to a 6? I don't know if that's worth it. But you know, let's just go. Did he draw Aetherize? Does he keep drawing bombs? Because I've been drawing 2 lands the last 2 turns. It was just lands. I think I drew another Technodrome, but that's about it. Technodrome's a good card, but not as good as Aetherize. Here comes the 4-dotted rope. Come on, you played a good game. It's time to concede, right? Like the game's over. Don't be a jerk about it. Gonna rope out all 4 dots because it's arena for you. They won't let you report these kind of players. A sore loser. Guess we wait, right, Leo? We just wait. We know he didn't DC. He was playing very actively every turn, and all of a sudden, when the game is over, he starts crying. The Ooze is a good card. The fact that whenever a creature you control with +1/+1 counter leaves, you create damage in mutagen is wild. That just means that those +1/+1 counters never go away. And if any of your card gives additional +1/+1 counters, it just keeps growing. That is insane. But as always, we get these petulant losers who likes to just cry and whine and hope you leave the game because they need to win. Well, is the rope done? The last rope, right? There's no. I've already, cursed at this opponent long enough. We just wait till the rope finishes, and that will be the game. Hopefully, they learn a lesson about. I mean, their deck isn't bad, right? I like this fairy deck. I think the way they played was not bad either. It was very reactive, and I try my best to stop whatever it is they're trying to do. They didn't counter many of my spells. I think that was probably the bigger mistake. They had to counter some of these spells, and since it timed out, they're just gonna die. GG. Nice timing out, loser. GG. Welcome back, everyone. Now that you saw all those super shredded Viper games, how does this deck feel? Well, I gotta say, this deck pleasantly surprised me. It's so much stronger than what I thought it was going to be. I think it was gonna. Well, I thought it was gonna be strong, but I had no clue how consistent and how pushy it came out to be. And the best card that I thought was gonna perform in this deck never shown up once today. That was the Obsessive Pursuit, right? I never drew it once, so that was unfortunate, but it is what it is. Sometimes you don't draw the cards. But the Ooze, super overperformer of the day, the Ooze. Oh man, I was so happy when the Ooze just locked out that Cavero deck. I didn't even need to actually kill them. Just by exiling all their stuff, they lost the game that way, which is pretty funny because me and every other Magic player now hates Caveros. Even if you play Caveros, you hate Caveros decks. That's kind of like back in the Modern Horizon days with the scam decks. Nobody likes scam decks, but everyone had to play scam deck because that was the only deck that existed. That's it just beats everything else, right? Caveira doesn't beat everything else, but in best of one, it definitely is one where it's very easy to pilot and wins pretty handily once the combo goes off. So that's why everyone likes it. And you definitely want to have a deck that techs specifically against that if you can. So our Ooze stops that from happening while overrunning our opponent, and the Rottenmouth Viper definitely does what its deal is. There were so many games where our opponent just bounced our stuff, and it didn't matter. You can bounce around Mount Viper. We get the Ooze back anyways because of the Mutant tokens, and while that's happening, they're getting all of their stuff taken out. Alright, and that was great. That was a great part about this deck is that you can't really bounce the Rottenmouth Viper. It will come back out, and you still got to sack, and you still got to discard. So that was how we won a lot of our games, but hey, it doesn't matter how we win. The fact is we won. And this mono black deck is really fun. Let's look at the mythic cards that we actually had in the Shredder, the Viper, and I think there was one more, Technodrome. I guess that is a mythic. You don't really need the Moonshadow, although it feels great. The Moonshadow is just a sort of a slot in the deck because we are sacking a lot of stuff, and it seems like it's pumping the Moonshadow. Any other one drop here could just be a good tempo play because ultimately we win not with the Moonshadow but with the Shredder and the Rottenmouth Viper. Perhaps you can cut the Moonshadow and put in more Shredder and more Ooze. They are legendary, so you can't have multiple of them, but just having one out is important to win the game. And yeah, this deck is very, very sort of a, well, I wouldn't say it's easy to play, but it's very fun, and it's not on rails, but when you get it, when you get the combo right, it's very satisfying. And that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.